Okay guys, so the belt that we got is pretty good, but the only thing wrong with it is that it's an 1/8 of an inch too wide, and that's fine, it really doesn't matter, except these strap mounts on the top and bottom. You can see there's about an inch, and it's going to give you a bit of wood on the edge. If I use a belt that's bigger, the wood on the edges is real thin, and I don't want it to break off. So what I'm going to do is make these out of a hardwood instead of a softer wood, and I think that'll handle it just fine. But through all the wood I have, I got all this. This is mostly trim pieces and stuff like that, but I got boxes and buckets of wood. I don't have anything, I hardly have anything that's ½ inch thick, and that's what we need. So I'm going to use my planer. I don't think we've used this in any videos. I'll show you how this thing works. Really neat tool, and basically what it does, you run boards through there. It could be as long as it could be, I don't know, technically 100 feet long, it wouldn't matter. It just keeps pulling the wood in and shaving it down, you know, whatever depth of thickness that you want. So as long as it can fit this width, you can throw in you know, a piece of lumber 13 inches thick, 13 inches high. So anyway, let me mount the camera. I'll show you how to use this. There's the depth wheel, and usually what you want to do is run it through the first time so that it's actually really not taking off anything, and then you just go deeper, deeper, deeper. So, and it's going to shoot out wood chips like a lot. So, you know, this one is a small board, so it's not going to shoot out that much, but okay, so it basically has these big long knives that just spin on this wheel and just take the top of the board off. So let's see. Put this in here and lower it. I don't know if you can see this thing going down. There we go. Alright, so that's right on the board. So I'm just going to turn it a little bit, put it through, turn it a bit, put it through, just keep doing that until it's the right size. So flick it on here. That's about right. I actually took off too much. I forgot to measure it in between. But this is going to work fine. This is a nice hard wood. I didn't want to use pine because I was afraid it might break easier. Okay, next I'm going to cut out a notch for the leather to go in on both sides. And if I was smart, I would have waited to cut these out before, because it's a bigger piece of wood, is easier to hold on to and work with than this, but I can still do it anyway. So depending on the size of your belt that you got, and I'll do this on the paper side, if you got a 1-inch belt for this size shield, that's perfect. This one's a little bit big. Let's see, I'm just eyeballing it. Gonna need to cut in there and there. So something like that. And you're only going to cut as thick as the belt. This deep and this long and wide. So here's what I'm going to try. I have the piece of wood, and next to it are the scraps that I cut off. And I put those back, just held in place with the clamp. That way it's flat and I can clamp it. Otherwise this is all at an angle and I can't clamp it. So I'm going to use a router with a little bit of a bit sticking out. It'll just cut a flat little edge in there. And again, this would have been a lot easier if I didn't cut out this piece first. If I cut out the notch first on a bigger piece of wood. But because it's so small, I can't use chisels easily. It's hard to hold. It's hard to clamp. So If I did this again, I'd cut the notch out and then the outside. But let's try this, see how it works. Alright, that worked pretty well. This is really flat, so I'm happy with that. And it doesn't have to be pretty because this is the side that's going to get mounted to the back of the shield. So it's this side that you want to look nice. So let's do the other one. Okay, I don't know if you've noticed, but when we were planing this down, I stopped just under 3/4 of an inch. I thought I overdid it. No, I underdid it. I was supposed to take off this much more around the edge. So I can't send this through the planer again, so I'm just going to have to sand it down on this anyway. But that happens. Now I got the wrong number in my head. I was supposed to go from 3/4 to a 1/2 inch, and I just thought 3/4. Okay, I'm done. But anyway, so no biggie, just sand it down. First thing I want to do before I go put some paint on is drill the holes through this. Real easy to do. I got my spade bit again, and it has a centering pin. So you know how sometimes when you use a drill bit it kind of wobbles all over the place? This locks it into place, and then it cuts a nice groove in with these two pieces that flare out. So you're going to get a nice clean hole. I'm only going to go as deep as the screw head here. I don't want to go any deeper. And actually I changed. Let's see if this is even big enough anymore. Nope, I need to get a slightly bigger bit. Let me go grab one. Alright, I went from 1/2 to 5/8. And all this hardware is just stuff I've collected. I usually don't go out and buy anything unless I'm real desperate. All these nuts and bolts, whenever I come across them, I just throw them in a bucket. Keep them all for handy situations like this. Okay, so alright, I don't want to go, I can't get that in, I need to drill it out. Okay, so that should be good. I don't want to go too deep because I want to keep as much wood in here as possible when I tighten it so it doesn't rip through the bottom. Anyway, that'll work. So let's go to the backyard, start painting. It's getting late in the day, so let's give this a coat of primer. I just finished sanding the Bondo down. It didn't take too long. We didn't have that much to put on. The trick with spray paint is don't get too close and do light coats. And don't do it in your house. Okay, it does not take long to dry. It's already perfectly dry. Let's do the back. After the first coat of primer, the front actually looks really good. There's almost nowhere where I need to fix it up, so I'm lucky on that one. On the back though, the wood that I used here shows a lot of wood grain. You can see there's the Bondo, where I filled in a hole, and then there's lots of wood grain. So I'm just going to smear some Bondo over a lot of the spots here. You could use wood filler if you want. I'm going to smear some in there and then there where the knot hole is. Clean it up and then prime it one more time. Okay guys, well the time's come to put on the handle, and this is the one I'm going to put on, and this is aluminum. It's a door pull, and it is absolutely perfect for this size shield. It's like spot on. You couldn't ask for more. It's one of these. I got this at Home Depot. 25 bucks. This is all stainless steel, so it's super expensive. And all you really need is this part here. This is heavier though than this because this is aluminum, and it's about, this is 6 inches screw holes, and this is just slightly under, but you know it works just fine. So that's going to go right there. And let me show you these. These are from IKEA. Let's see. And this would be if you're doing a smaller shield. I wouldn't be able to get my hand under there, so this would be like a little kid's deal. But these are just like $3-4 bucks for that. What else? Okay, so yeah, I got this for about 15 on eBay. I think I searched door pull, something like that. And you want something, if you're doing an adult size shield, about 6 inches apart like that. And not a drawer pull, because a drawer pull is not going to give your hand enough room to get back. So here's the problem. I didn't want to wait for this to arrive in the mail. So I couldn't put this on how you would normally do it, which is drill a hole from the front here, in here, and then put these screws in. Whoops, I don't know if you could see that. Let me try it again. I was off camera. So you drill a hole here and here, so that on the other side of the shield you got the holes for mounting. And but I couldn't drill the holes because I didn't know how far apart to drill them. I didn't have it yet. So I don't want to drill through this part here and then use Bondo and stuff. So I came up with another way, kind of stupid way, but I'm going to pull it off. It's just a lot more work. What I do is I have this short screw. Let's see, let me put it all on. Here's, I'll tell you what this part does in a minute. This is just a piece of wood. And then this here, and then the screw. Okay, so it goes in like that. And what I'm doing now, I have a plate here that I can screw all these holes that I drilled in there into the shield, and then the piece of wood I glued down on top to cover up all those screw holes, which I don't want to see a bunch of screw holes on here. I'm being kind of picky. Anyway, that'll work, but it's not as strong as going through the whole shield. So if I were you, get your handle first and put that on earlier before you put on, you know, the bird or the little snaky geometric pattern on the other side. Anyway, so let's go over to the vise, and that's hiding over here. And I'm going to show you how I did just a couple screw holes if you're unfortunate enough to do it the way I did it, which is late in the game. But I didn't have enough time to wait around for the right part to show up. Okay, so let me zoom in here. Okay, so real simple. This is only going to be interesting for those of you who are doing this method, which probably isn't going to be many of you. Okay, just got a drill bit, and got a little mark there. So I'm just going to do 4 holes. Okay, I'm just going to show you one of them. Okay, this bit here, get on camera, here we go. This bit allows me to put in, see that shape of the head there? Allows me to put in screws flush. So this is going to cut in at kind of a wedge shape. It's too low. Let me move that up higher. Alright, and that will allow me to put in a screw head flat like that. It's not going to stick up. So when I put the wood over it, it doesn't show and raise the wood up from the screw head. Okay, now I'm using this same drill bit to countersink a little, or actually, yeah, sink down a little groove in there for the head of the screw so it can go flat. So this is a little hard to get pinpoint. Okay, there we go. That'll work perfect. Alright, so the only thing I really have to do now is sand these rings down so that they are the right size, same size as the washer, and then bolt all this stuff down. Alright, so now we're going to attach the handle, finally. And the last thing I want to have happen is this thing to come loose once it's all installed. So I'm going to put some of this thread locker. It's just like a glue for screw threads. I don't think it would come loose, but just in case it decided to, it's going to have a hard time now. I'll line these up. I was going to do a star pattern here and then I stopped, so that's why it's a weird shape. I'm just going to do 4 per side. Or I mean 4 per washer. Okay, there's one. Okay, let me make sure that these wood rings cover. Yeah. Good enough. Okay, so place this there. Okay, and this is parallel to this line here. So when you're measuring over, measure from here. Don't put your handle like that. Alright. This is about time. Been waiting for this for a long time. And let me double check to make sure this is not going to go through the shield. I'm just going to hold it up to the side. I can see a little... No, this one's too long. This one would have stabbed through the whole thing. Let's get a smaller screw. So these should fit just fine and not go through. Let me back that up just until I get this side in. Okay. Oh, that's the long one. Don't want to do that. Okay, let's test it out. Those cover the screw. I think that looks awesome. What do you think? I'm a little close to the camera, but that's going to work. Let me grab some more screws, throw them in. Okay, I I got two kinds of paint. This is the color we used for the top of the bomb. This is silver metallic, number 7271. And then I got this one, which is what I think we'll use for this. It's a little darker, but it's got some shine in it. And this is 249128 metallic aluminum, which is kind of strange. Funny, because this is aluminum, then I primed it, and I'm going to paint it aluminum. So, just give it a good shake. Okay, I finished putting this on, and then this around the edge. This is the same color that we used on the Master Sword, just around the outside, so it has kind of this blended. It's brighter here, darker there. It looks really nice. I don't like this color all by itself, but with this added around the edge, it looks pretty good. Okay, I made this little setup here real quick. We're going to put on the strap, and this is just a different belt. I didn't want to put a hole through the good one yet, but it's about the same size. So what you want to do is test this out on, just get a scrap piece of plywood or something, cut out the rough size of the shield, put the handle on, and find out where you're going to place your strap and how much slack to give it. So I got an anchor here and about an anchor here, but if I'm holding on to the handle, this is where the center of the shield is, and this is where my wrist will be. So if I have it too far, my hand will be, it won't hold it down. If I have it too close, it'll be too tight to get my hand out. So you want to play around and find out how much slack do you have and how far apart are these. So I think about 6 inches is good. Let me hold this down again. Get rid of a little bit more here. Something like that, and I can get my hand out enough. I don't want it too loose, but I think that'd be good for me. So I'm going to do about 6 inches, and let's see what this is. Just going to measuring tape here. 8 inches of exposed leather strap, 6 inches apart. That's what I picked. We'll see how it works. If you hate it, you can you know, use more of the belt and take it out. But I got a cool system for putting these on, and you can do it a couple ways, but let's jump to the shield now. Okay, so this is what I chose to do. I have these holes that are going to be 8 inches apart, and they're like that, and that leaves a 6-inch gap between these two ends. Also, I'm going to put a square, I'm going to line up this square right here on this edge. You can see that that puts the base of this piece right at the base of the inside of the handle. I wanted it a bit set further down, because what happens is the strap kind of loops up and your wrist ends up high up here. So if this is too high up, your arm's going to want to go that way up. So if that makes any sense, I know it might be confusing, but anyway, so here's the hardware that I'm going to use to install these. Now you can just use a screw and just screw this right in, which is probably what most of you are going to do. But I want to be able to remove this cleanly and easily and do whatever I want. So I'm going to put in these. Now, somebody help me out. I don't know the name of these. I took this out of a piece of furniture. You see these in chairs. Chair legs are attached this way, and table legs sometimes use these. What it has is it's threaded on the inside, and it screws in really cool. So let me show you how to do this. So I have a drill bit here, and I marked off the depth in tape. I do not want to go any further down than this, because obviously I'm going to go through the shield. This isn't terribly thick. So anyway, I got my mark here, and I'm going to carefully drill a hole. Clear some of this stuff out. Okay. Man, if I went through, I'd be pretty mad, but it went all the way down. So then let me zoom in for you. You can see exactly how this works. Okay. So this thing, you can see these barbs on it, they're threaded. And put that in the hole here. Use this Allen wrench, and it just twists right in. Now if I went deep enough, this should go flat. If I need to go a little bit more, yeah, it's stopping. So I need to drill just a tiny bit more. Let's take it out. Hope it's not too much. Yeah, just a hair. There could be some debris stuck in there too. Let me dump it out. Really, I should be using shorter ones and not push my luck so much. But this is what I had here. And I didn't want to go and buy something. So this is going to be good right here. Of course I could just file it down, but anyway, that's good. That's pretty flat. So now what I can do is take this bolt and just thread it in cleanly, and I can remove it cleanly, and works like that. Pretty nice. Alright, now it's time to attach the belt. I'm going to take advantage of one of these holes right here. That'll be the screw hole. And so that just means I need to cut this belt right here. And in one of the videos I talked about the difference between real leather and fake leather. I want to make sure you're getting real leather. Okay, let's take this bolt, go right through. That is tight. I wonder if this leather punch hole is bigger. Let's try it. I don't think so. No, it just fit perfectly in there, so I'm just gonna have to work it in. There we go. Okay. Now if this moves around too much, what I'll do is take it off and just put a couple little tacks in the belt. That'll stop the belt from spinning. Yeah, it's gonna move. I know it. So let's get some little brads or nails or something to stop the belt from sliding around. And then that should make this work perfectly. Just tiny, tiny nails will do. We're just stopping it from rocking, you know, this way or that way, so it won't spin on us. Okay, now we can put this back on. Oh, look at that. That is clean. And solid. That's awesome. Okay, so now I need to measure 8 inches of strap, which is here. And that's going to be the exposed portion. Now I need to measure where I'm going to cut, which is there. I got enough belt left over that I can do this one more time. So it allows me a little mistake room. Let's see how this fits inside. If it's, I need to get rid of that corner. I'll snip off both corners. There we go. And let me put a mark in here. We need to use the hole punch. And this hole punch is just garbage, but it's all I got. I'll make sure it's in the center. Okay. There we go. Alright, so same thing here. I'm going to center this over the hole. Let me put the, let's do it this way instead. Let's help let this bolt line it up. You know, by the time I'm done with this, I can't remember what I thought it'd be like when it started. I'm pleased with it, but I don't ever think I'm going to put in as much work as I end up doing. And that I'm going to have to pull this out. Look how strong this leather is though. When I pull it out, it doesn't rip through. It just pulls it right out of the wood. This is too high. This won't lay down flat. So let's take it out. Wonder why this one's being such a pain and the other one went in just fine. Let's take it out and go just a tiny, tiny bit more. Okay, this better work. You know, if you do this too much, this is going to become loose. But you can always, you know, shove glue down in there and stuff like that. So, not the worst. Okay, go flat. There we go. Totally flat. And we'll tack these down in again. Cool. Let's see how this works. Alright, I'm happy with it. I think that's fine. Alright, the next thing we do is need to cover these up. And I'm just going to spray paint one of these little covers and put it on like that. I might even hot glue it, make it easy to take off later so I can adjust this if I need to. Alright, what I did was just sanded down some of these round caps here and then just hot glue it on, because like I said, I want to be able to remove this without doing any major repair. Cool, and that's about it. We're done. So I'm going to get this basement cleaned up, and then we will jump back and we'll answer some questions about this shield, and I'll tell you about the templates and things like that. So let me get cleaned up and we'll jump ahead and see you in a bit. Okay guys, we are done. Now that took forever. That last shot that you saw in the video was about 2.5 months ago. What took so long was not actually making the shield, but editing the video because of the failed hard drive. So I still have to recreate the plans for this, and I'll get to that. But let's check this out, and I'll tell you what I liked and maybe what I would change. I really like the colors. They came out really well. On the back, I'd like a two-tone. I'd like to make this inside part darker here. And one thing when I do a little, have a little practice, is I'd like to beat this up a little bit and add some texture to the paint here. You know, a few scrapes and scuffs. Make it look like it's been in battle a little bit instead of so brand new. It's not bad like this, but I'd like to try that out. I still should put a clear coat, some sort of protective deal on this, because since I spray painted this 2 different colors and it's feathered right here, if I get you know, if I need to do a little bit of touch up, it's going to be harder to touch up because it's a mix of paint colors there. What else? I could have sanded a bit more. I didn't really sand that much. And so I know on camera this probably looks really good and, you know, almost flawless. But, you know, if you come in really close, let's see, let me get some light reflection on it. You're going to see, I know there's one right about, where's this side? There you go. See, I didn't do a great job on certain parts. So in certain lights and certain parts, you can tell that it's, you know, had a little bit of filler here and there, but I mean, who really cares? One thing I'd also like to do is wrap something around here, maybe some leather to protect it, because as soon as you lay it down, you're going to scrape and scuff off the paint. Plus, it'd be nice to have a little bit of leather, something cool to hold on to here. I could have used wood that's a bit more curved, but you know, this was the first time I did this, guys. So while you were watching everything I was doing, that was, you know, I was just making it up as I went. So this one was a little more difficult than like the last shield video that we did, because I'd made a lot of those shields before. Let's see. So before I forget, I really wanted to thank whoever it was that donated a while back. That was really, really cool. And as you can see, we got a wireless mic here, which really helps for the videos. And that helped pay for it. Now, it wasn't, if you guys are wondering, it wasn't like, you know, tens of thousands of dollars, or even, it wasn't even $1,000. But to me, it was a lot of money. And that was really cool. And we got 2 more donations in after that. So thanks, guys, for that. It's really appreciated. And so we're going to get a new camera pretty soon. And it'll help with a little bit wider lens. And also, I'm filming in a basement, so the lighting is terrible down here. So I think the new camera will have a better color processor, or however it works, that it can not make the footage so grainy sometimes. Sometimes you look at it and it's like grainy and muddy, and you know, it's all I got. But anyway, so again, thanks, guys. And if you guys have channels that you like to watch, and there's that little subscribe button, you can send those guys money, because it, you know, maybe it's not much money, but it really does encourage and support these guys making the videos, because they see that people really do like it. And obvious subscribe as well. That's an obvious one. And subscribing actually really does help channels to grow. Anyway, because it spreads the channel around, and it makes, I think YouTube ranks the channels higher, or promotes them more. So when you subscribe, it really helps. So I have a bunch of questions here, and I left a lot out. Because there was a lot. Let me see. Let's talk about a few that just had to do with this. So I had several suggestions on, or comments as well, on how to cut out this shape. If you remember, this was just terrible and really complicated. Some of the suggestions were, let's see, this one's from Genius Crafter. I'm sorry, I don't know how to say, you got a J in your name. Anyway, it says to do the S, you could keep it in one piece and use a band file to get the inside. So I had to look up what a band file was. I never heard of that. So it's like the belt sander, but really thin, and it sticks out, so you can get into the tiny. That might work, but it could still be really tricky around here. That was a neat tool. It'd be neat to have that one. Let's see. Here's one from Hunter Locke. He says, the only way I could think of to make the S piece would be to get some kind of hardening or sculpting clay, something workable but resilient, and you can mold it and warp it to the shape of the shield, which would be helpful. And then after, use some Bondo, so to, you know, sculpt it physically. But still, I think that might be tough, unless you're really good with that, to get these straight lines, because I really wanted it to be super sharp and clean angles, and the only way I knew how to do that was on the with a belt sander. But if anybody tries that, let us know how it works out. And he says, I can't wait for the files to come out. Yes, the files for this are coming soon, in the bottom of the video, the description. Thomas Korn says you should get a joiner to get a good smooth finish so that the seam isn't as visible. Okay, what he's talking about is, remember here we used 2 pieces of wood and glued them together. I actually have a joiner. It's one of the tools I use probably the least. But what that does is it cuts a nice, perfectly square edge on the edge of your boards so that they glue really clean. I didn't do enough sanding. There's a little bit of a line here where the 2 boards are. And some more sanding would have helped that out. Taylor Hastings says, what program did you use to make your PDF outlines?
So in a lot of the videos, you can download, you know, the little blueprints for this. I use Adobe Illustrator, and some of you commented you want to see me make, show you how I make, you know, the designs and stuff. So if I can't resurrect the plans for this, which I might not be able to, then we'll do this one in the video. If not, we'll do another shield or something else. But yeah, I'll show you that. Illustrator is an awesome program. It's been around forever and it's still super valuable. Nothing's come close to it. Let's see, H3N Thai Boy. Just a tip. You should rather do questions and answers in separate videos, and it can help you gain more views and shorten these longer videos and make it easier as your viewers to find your content quicker. And I've been thinking about that. These videos, especially like this one, when you're adding it up, is like 3 hours long, probably more. So what I planned on doing is taking these videos and making maybe a 5-minute one. So if you don't want to watch all this, you know, blabbing about tools, you can watch a short video. And so the whole thing's compressed down into 5 minutes or less, and it cuts out all the extra stuff. And I think that'd be cool to watch anyway. And so I'll probably do that. So when you see those videos pop up, I'll probably go back and re-edit some of the older videos down, just make them really quick. But I thought about that as well, doing Q&A on a separate video. Maybe I'll save that up, and every once in a while we'll do a Q&A video. All right, this one's from David Soren. He says, my daughter is a huge fan of The Legend of Zelda and is planning to make a Link's cosplay for the French Japan Expo next July. And guess who is the happy one with the arm-long to-do list, including Master Sword and the Scabbard and Hylian Shield, leather belt, and pouch, and so on and so forth. That's a lot of stuff. So I watched your video at least 10 times studying the way you do. I started the Master Sword last weekend. I don't have neither a lathe or belt sander. Instead, I use a Multi-Master Fine. The tricky part will be to have a nice rounded handle without a lathe. Yes, I've read your several comments on the comment section about that. I made some rehearsal on trash wood and it seems to work just fine. Thank you for the great job and the good advices. And I'm longing for the dedicated Master Sword Scabbard tutorial, which I'm sure I'll do, hopefully sooner than later. We made the Master Sword, we got to finish and have a scabbard for it. So yeah, you can make a Master Sword without any power tools, but you know, it doesn't have to be round. That brings me to the last question. Or actually, it's not even a question. We have a one of the viewers made this. Let me hold it up. Actually, I'll probably just throw up one on the computer and be a nicer resolution. My name is Noel. I'm 21, and he's from Puerto Rico. And he says, get this, he says, making the sword was actually a challenge for me since I've never made anything out of wood. Isn't that awesome? So if you take a look at it, he actually used, you know, just regular lumber and just kind of rounded it a bit, and it works. It looks fine to me. You know, it doesn't have to be perfectly round. So it looks like he just took off the corners there. Plus, if you wrap some leather around it, I'm sure it'll look cool and fine. Here he says, so in short, the blade was made with the jigsaw and the Dremel because the belt sander broke. And the handle was made with an X-Acto knife. Referring to the tube handle since in the beginning it was squared. Wow. So all he had was an X-Acto knife, Dremel tools. Wow, you went for it. You did an awesome job. That is tough stuff. Looking forward to the shield video. Keep motivating people to make wood art. Take care. That's awesome. I really like what you did. And that reminds me, I didn't print it out. I don't know who said it, but people are making these shields out of foam, out of whatever you want. Go for it. I know a lot of you don't have these woodworking tools, but at least with the blueprints and stuff, you can make it out of anything. You can trace it onto anything and cut it out. So don't worry about that. Somebody just asked if you could cut out a sword with a jigsaw, not a bandsaw. Of course you can. Jigsaws work perfect. And if there was a tool or two that I would suggest that you get first, it's a drill and a jigsaw. You can make a lot of things with just those two tools. And then third, a sander, so you don't have to do all that by hand. But anyway, I think that's going to do it for this video. This is long enough, and in the future, I think we'll make some quicker projects, some shorter projects. So I need a break from this one. This one almost killed me. We'll make more complicated ones, and I have some in line, but there's some stuff that I made as a kid that I thought would be fun to share, make it again, just little simple things, but we'll get into that later. Thanks guys for subscribing. If you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and do that. You can find me on, you know, other stuff like Facebook and things like that. I guess that's gonna do it. Should we do a giveaway? You know, I was cleaning up some stuff. I guess this is for anybody who watched the whole video, huh? We'll sneak in a giveaway. I was cleaning up some stuff. I got to get rid of some stuff in here. I got way too much stuff in my basement. So maybe I'll just give away the stuff I don't need anymore. Okay, so I have this Triforce necklace and blurry camera again. Gosh. Let's go. There we go. One side's kind of rough and the other side's smooth. Anyway, and we can give this away. Somebody want this? What should we do for a giveaway? I don't know how to make it fair. How about in the comments section, you leave a comment. Okay, first you got to be a subscriber, so click subscribe. And then in the comments section, put, how about a lowercase t before your comment? So leave a comment in the comment section. Do a lowercase t for Triforce. And you know, this is lightweight. I could send this anywhere in the world, so you don't have to be, you know, local to get this. So I'll mail this anywhere. You send me an address, and we'll do it. So put in a comment, make it something interesting. Don't just type a T, but write something in the comments section. And let me tell you a bit about this. I didn't even build it up a bit. Okay, so we got some of these, and my brother gold plated this. So this is just, you know, a necklace you can find online, and he has a gold plating machine. So there actually is 24 karat gold on the surrounding the whole thing. Now it's really thin, so it's not worth a lot, but it's anyway, it's 24 karat gold Triforce plated, 24 karat gold plate. So okay, yeah, put a comment in the comment section, put a T in front of it, make sure you're a subscriber, and in the next video I'll announce. I'll just, we'll pick it at random. All right, so we'll do that. I guess that's it. I'll stop wasting your time. You guys are awesome. Thanks for watching, and I'll check you guys out next video. So have an awesome day. Bye.